Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2020 My Team Career Mode content once again. Today we are here for the US Grand Prix, and I want to mention really quickly guys, there won't be any replay cams in this video. Unfortunately I had a game crash just as the race ended. Luckily I had a mid-session save and I was able to finish the race properly, but that does mean there won't be no replay cameras here today, so I do apologize for that in advance. If you guys missed the last episode guys at Japan, check it out. I will leave a link up in the top right hand corner of your screen. And yeah guys, if you're new to the channel, if you want to hit that red subscribe button, that'll help me out massively. I'm trying to hit 50k by the end of the year, and if you're going to enjoy the video, drop me a like and let's get this one underway. So first and foremost, this weekend we are looking at the laptop. You can see in the top right we are a little bit low on cash. We're just under $2 million, so we're not looking too badly. And also weather forecast this weekend for USA looks dry, which is great news. Upgrade wise, both ourselves and Haas don't really bring anything, and neither do Alfa Tauri, McLaren or Alfa Romeo. We do have two major aerodynamic upgrades in the pipeline. That's going to help us out massively heading into the future. But also we have some new sponsors on the car. If you didn't see in the last episode guys, go check it out. But today we are running those updated sponsors of Sudu and Sunburst on the car on the brand new updated paint livery for this race. And guys, I've got a video coming soon regarding my livery for season 2, so keep your eyes peeled. You guys are going to have to vote in terms of what car design you like the most, so keep your eyes peeled guys, as it's going to be a big video. But today we are here for practice at USA, and you can see the smoke on the back of the car. I was doing it with a very worn out power unit. We are still on power unit number 3. We've been using units 1 and 2 for practice in the recent races, but they're now around 90% worn, so they're very worn out and they are struggling a lot. So we may have to take one more engine penalty at some point. I don't think we're going to be able to make it to the very end on our current engines, but you can see the acclaim. We are close to level 10 now as a driver, and the team is always improving now, so that's always good news. And Mick, of course, hit level 8 in the last episode. But we now move into qualifying here at the Circuit of the Americas, and here we are with a brand new updated look of the car with the new sponsors this weekend. We're going to get this one underway. So here we go. This was my first run in qualifying, and straight away turn 1 was absolutely horrific. I got a huge front left lock up, and then I got a bad exit as well, and I must have dropped at least half a second through there alone. Same story at the hairpin. I just pushed too much. The car had no front end, and I just understeered wide, got a really bad exit as well. And generally it was a very scruffy first lap, but my second run was my best run of the session. So let's run on board for a full lap of the Circuit of the Americas, and let's see what this lap was like. Ultimately it wasn't perfect, but it was my best lap in the session, so let's see what the lap was like. Here we go then at the final corner, 9 tenths up, and we are going to improve to P19. Only 2 tenths off Roman Grosjean's time, which is pretty good to be fair. On our final run though, let's have a look to see what happens. So turn 1, I got it wrong. I pushed a bit too much. You'll see here on the exit, I ran it wide onto the curb and that ruined my exit, and I dropped a tenth of a second. And I kind of carried that deficit throughout the entire lap. And I made another mistake here on the exit of this right-hander. I just got a bit too much gas and lost the back end, and that kind of put an end to my session. Then I realized, you know what, we're not going to improve, so we'll just pull the car in, save the engine, and call it a day. So that was going to be our session. Unfortunately, others around us did improve quite a lot, including Mick Schumacher. To be fair, even on a perfect lap, I don't think we could have got the Haas cars. I think at best a 130.1, Maybe a 0.0 would have been the best one, but Russell actually equaled our lap time, but he manages to start ahead of us, which is a shame. But we're now going to move into an interview.
You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried?
Not really. We haven't started from the front really that much this season, besides Singapore, so nothing new.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do?
I think so. I mean, it looks pretty good from where I'm standing. They're getting consistent points.
Appreciate your time.
Well, there we go then. Qualifying is done. We do miss out on the rivalry breakdown to Pierre Gasly, and we're now equal on points, 20-20, with 2 races to go, which is going to be really, really key. It's going to go down to the wire in this rivalry. But as you can see on the acclaim, we all kind of gain all round a little bit, but generally speaking, it's not a huge boost. Qualifying was not great. We start P21, so that's a shame. Even the Williams managed to out-qualify, so we've got a lot of work to do in the race. But without further ado, let's jump into it. It's time for the US Grand Prix.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what I wonder is in store for us today. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles an hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and at the end of the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. I think we should begin by discussing Daniel Kvyat. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon, Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, and Carlos Sainz. Norris, Gasly, Esteban Ocon, and Raikkonen, Schumacher, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and George Russell. Kvyat, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Martinez, Latifi, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Yes, guys, it's time for the US Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas. And we start from P20, which is not ideal, but we'll try and make it work. Strategy-wise, we're going to start on the mediums and then move on to the hard tyres and avoiding the soft tyres in principle. On last year's game, the medium tyres would last forever around this circuit. It looks like that's changed a little bit this year, but we'll kind of judge it on a lap-by-lap basis. If I can strap on softs at the end, I'll definitely try it, but we'll see how the race progresses. Starting on mediums, I think it's going to give us a pretty good pace. You know, we won't be too slow on these. And fuel-wise, I'm going to start with an extra lap in the car. No rain expected, and we're going to try and make do with a bad situation. Ultimately, we lack a little bit of pace around here, both as a team and also myself as a driver, but we'll try and see if we can pull something out the bag. Hopefully, our race pace is stronger than our 1-lap pace. So without further ado, let's get the racing underway here, and let's see if we can have a decent US Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's build up the revs to the optimal range as the lights are on for the US Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Not a bad start actually. We get the jump on Kvyat. We are now going to be in the middle of the pack here heading into turn 1. I've got, I think that's Latifi on the inside. Kvyat on the outside. Let's see if we can just get the line right out of there. Yes we do. And we hang on. And actually I think we gained a place right up to P19. So we're quite ahead of Danny Kvyat, which is good for us, good start. We've got George Russell in front and then Magnussen ahead of him. Looks like Mick has made a pretty strong start as well, holding on to P15, which is good news for us. He's got my rival Pierre Gasly right in front of him as Kvyat here going for a move actually up the inside. Very aggressive there from the Russian in the AlphaTauri. Let's see if we can hang on to this though down towards the hairpin. Everyone's very early in the brakes. We're going to go around the outside of Russell and Magnussen as well. Oh my goodness me, what a move. Yes, boys. Wow, that was insane. Just found the grip. I just about kept one wheel on the track, you know, for track limits purposes. And we managed to pull off a beautiful move there. Getting past 2 cars around the outside of the hairpin. I don't think I've ever done that before in my life. So really nice overtake, converting what was really a defensive maneuver to stay ahead of Kvyat into a double overtake and an offensive move. That was sick. Really good stuff. We're now behind Roman Grosjean and 2 places behind Mick, who's just ahead of the Haas driver there, as you can see. Let's see if I can find some pace in these tyres. If I can get a good rhythm early on, that would help us out. Looks like everyone's running the soft tyres here for now. Soft hard looking like the likely strategy for the AI around here. I've got mediums, and that's with the hope of heading onto the softs later on. If not, if we go medium hard, we could be in trouble in terms of paces. Overall, we're going to miss out on the soft tyres, but it's part of the risk we're taking. Because if it does work out for us and we've got pace on these, this could be a good strategy. Just got to try and weather the storm early on in the first couple of laps. Try and stay within DRS range if I can. That would help us out a lot. Another personal best. Pace is actually pretty good, to be fair. I can't complain. We're not, that far behind the cars in front. Mick is now dropping off from the rest of the midfield. And you've got this usual pack of, the lower end cars. Haas, 97 Racing and Williams starting to form. And, Mick's only 2 seconds up the road. So if we're comparing, tyre compounds, we're not that far off the pace. So I don't mind this so far. We're not doing too badly. This medium's working okay for me. Pace is still pretty good, very consistent on these tyres, so I can't lie, I'm happy on these. They're working well. The gap is kind of neutralising itself now, so Mick and Grosjean aren't really pulling away anymore. It's kind of flattened out, so we're reaching that crossover point now where the soft tyres I feel like are starting to let go a bit. And also Magnussen really hasn't been close, not even once, in terms of maybe making an overtake on me, so it's looking good. I've figured out how to sort the hairpins out, turn 1 and this corner here, which is running them in 3rd gear. I seem to get much better control of the car and I've got more pace overall. So at the minute it's all going well. We're kind of waiting to see if the soft tyres then start to really kind of drop off quite aggressively and we can make up some ground. Ooh, okay, Grosjean pits. He's the first one to bite the bullet. He's going for the undercut on Mick Schumacher. Russell pits as well. Got an Alfa Romeo. No, actually, that's a Ferrari. That's Sebastian Vettel. Leaving the pit exit. There's Verstappen. Just in front. Seb will be on the back of us very soon. Well, to be fair, he's come out behind Magnussen, so never mind. He's going to have to get past the Haas car first. Mick pits.
Mick is coming in for his stop.
Magnussen as well. We've got the remaining guys on soft tyres all pitting.
The pit window, you'll be on the hards.
Okay, a lot of cars going for the hard tyre. Looks like only a handful of cars have gone for the double soft. Leclerc in front of us on soft tyres. He's going for the aggressive strategy. Hamilton ahead of him on hard tyres, so quite a few mixed strategies going on. Right, Seb's behind us on soft tyres. He's got a lot more pace, so we're not really going to put up too much of a fight here. We'll keep it in rich mix to give ourselves a bit of straight line speed. We've now got Albon behind. He's on the hard tyres. I think it could be a lot easier to, frustrate and keep the Red Bull behind us. So I think that could be possible. I am considering the medium to soft. Looking at my tyre wear, we're around 35% tyre wear, 30%-ish. If we go to lap 18, maybe 17, we can definitely put on the soft tyre. So I think we can do this. I've just got to try and hold on to a pace and try and stay consistent with it and go long. Okay, we've got the final cars pitting off the soft tyres, it looks like. I thought there was all of them, but there's a few more. There we go. I'm definitely going along on this one. We almost swipe off Norris's nose there. He's going to rejoin just alongside Albon. They're going to be battling all the way through the S's here, so this is our chance to pull away a little bit and get a slight gap. Norris going for the soft tyre, so looking like he's going to two-stop it and go aggressive. Suddenly, if we can pull off this one stop onto the soft tyres, I really fancy our chances of maybe nicking a point. Norris standing inside, bit of contact there. I don't know what Lando was doing, but being a bit aggressive on those soft tyres. Old Lando. We're just taking it easy, driving at our own pace. We definitely don't have the rhythm around here, that's for certain. A lot of these cars are a lot quicker. Here comes Lando, we'll let him go by it. And we'll just sit in the slipstream and try and gain some straight line speed that way. There we go, that's perfect. Lando Norris, new fastest lap. That McLaren going well, it looks like. We're doing a good job here, actually. Albon just isn't close enough to challenge me into any of the heavy brake zones on the back straight or the main straight. We're deploying at ERS perfectly. And we've just got a massive train of cars behind us holding everybody up. But I don't feel particularly under pressure. Just trying to keep it clean, keep it smooth. And we're doing okay. Front left is about 50% wear. So bearing that in mind, we're a little bit marginal. But I'm going to try and at this point stretch it to soft tyres. We may as well take a risk and try and get there. So Hopefully it pays off. Albon down the inside there. We'll just give him a bit of a squeeze. The AI seem to like that move on the inside there, but that's backfired for him because he's dropped off massively now. Right, we might be in trouble here. I ran in a bit deep on the brakes into the hairpin. Didn't quite get the line right. Here comes Albon. We're going to have to defend the inside. I want to try and hang on to this position if possible. And keep track position over the Red Bull. Down the inside. There we go. Good defensive driving. This is looking good from us. Very tidy. Left front, 62%. I think we're going to be okay here, but I'm definitely going to have to go into at least lap 18 as a precaution to make sure we can make it on the soft tyres. Okay, the two stoppers are in the pit lane. Verstappen and Vettel are in there. Max is already rejoining, but Seb is in the pit lane. Albon's looking a bit dangerous here, but we should be able to stay in front. Now it looks like we're going to frustrate Seb in traffic here. He's rejoining right into turn 1 there. Whew. We just avoided him, but he went straight into the side of Alexander Albon there. This train of cars is insane. The funny thing is, it's bookended by my teammate, so Mick is at the back of the train. Here comes Seb. Do I let him go by and get on with it? We know how fast the Ferrari engine is. We won't fight that. It's a different race. Ferrari's the fastest car on the straight, so it's it's pointless doing it because if we start battling with Seb, we're going to lose even more time. So I don't think we're going to score points now. Looking at the situation, I think we're just not fast enough. It's as simple as that. But we can have a bit of fun in the final stint and try our best on the soft tyres, see if we can get anything out of the race. That's for certain. One more lap. Okay, a few cars pitting, even behind us as well. That's going to be some form of an undercut, so we've got to try and see if we can have a good in-lap here on these very worn tyres and see if we can push on, because I want to try and stay ahead of those cars that pit just now. Yep, you can see the tyre wear for yourselves. I mean, they're all pretty knackered, to be honest. The right rear looking the best out of a bad bunch. Just trying to nurse the car back to the pit lane now, trying to have no errors, easy on the traction, trying to give the car a bit of respect, but we are pushing on this in-lap as much as possible, but I am struggling now with that front left majorly. Oh, that's going to be a disgusting corner cut. I apologise for that one. Right, I just took off way too much speed. I expected far worse grip through there. Right, let's pit. There we go. Whew, that was a massive stint. Look how many cars are behind us.
Mick in the pits.
That's bad news. Mick should have stayed out one more lap. Why doesn't the AI know this? Why doesn't the game learn? This is going to ruin Mick's race, and I don't like it. Here we go.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Complete. Go now.
Oof, that was close. I pulled away at the wrong time.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
I released the clutch a bit too soon. Crucially though, we're ahead of Pierre Gasly, our rival, which is really important. We rejoined P14, but quite a way away from points. To be fair, I'm expecting the AI to be quicker than me, even on mediums. I think they're going to have the edge on us, so we're going to have to work for this. We've got to use the fresh rubber to try and find some pace early on and establish a gap. This feels fantastic. The grip on this is incredible. Purple final sector. Good pace, actually. We're now within DRS range of Esteban Ocon. And we're closing up the Giovinazzi as well, who of course is on those hard tyres, so there is a P12 up for grabs at the moment, by the looks of it. Right, here we go. Can we get Ocon here on this straight? 6/10 behind. Our front left is pretty close to overheating. 104 Celsius it was at the end of Sector 1. Not quite close enough here to make a move on the Renault. I've got to try and avoid front left lockups as best as I can. Purple middle sector, look at this. Pace on these is insane. I wonder. Had a little look there, but no way through. I tried the short line, but now we're behind Giovinazzi now, so this is going to be fun. I'm really losing time. I need to get past. This is ruining my soft tyres. I was hoping to go for the lunge down the inside there, but it wasn't to be. We're very good on traction out of there. Oh, the dirty air is horrible. It's absolutely horrific. We're going to get the shorter line though and clear the dirty air. But now we get some more through there. This is so frustrating. It's always the same thing. Whenever I'm about to overtake a car, they happen to have a Ferrari-powered car in front, which makes it impossible for me to make any kind of move. Engine's overheating like crazy at the minute. Down the inside we go on Ocon into turn 1. There we go. That was close. Almost lost our front wing in the process, but we're through. Let's try and get Giovinazzi now if we can. This car is just not great at the minute. Also, I'm not using any fuel. It's very fuel efficient, this circuit. I definitely could have used a lot less at the start. Oh, that's close. But Giovinazzi gets out of shape though, out of there. That's going to give us the opportunity to make a move here. Here we go, short shifting to try and keep the engine temperature under control. We now pour into some clean air, it's going to help cool the engine down. I'm out of VRS. Running it very hot on the brakes. We do just about get the car slowed down. It's a bit scruffy, but we're through. Crucial. Now we can try and pull away a little bit and open up a gap. Hopefully I've got enough tyres. Ocon has passed Giovinazzi now, so he's going to be sticking with us, I think, on those medium tyres. I'm trying to catch Kvyat, who's on very used old hard tyres like Giovinazzi is, and hopefully we can try and pull him in a little bit. I'm trying to also save ERS because we used all of it. We used all of it to get past, you know, Ocon and Giovinazzi, so I'm trying to charge one up in case we have to defend from the Renault later on.
Right, some information on Ricardo. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Ooh, okay. Well, I think Ricardo is ahead of us, I believe, so you never know, there could be some late points up for grabs. We are closing in on Kvyat as well. Oh, green flag up ahead. Something's happened.
Caution, caution.
I think it's Alex Albon. Yes, it is. Again. Oh my goodness me. Up to P11.
Green flag.
With Kvyat just up the road, we are just 2.7 away from points. The issue is now we're not really catching Kvyat anymore. My soft tyres are starting to go. I can see Ricardo up the road struggling. Can we get a miracle here and score a point? Can we get lucky? Let's find out. Oof, big lock up there. But we should get under control. Yes, we do. Easy does it now. Trying to bring the car home. Ricardo is the next car up the road. 8.2 ahead. It's a shame because a few more laps and we could have actually scored a point today, but Ricardo's issue happened a bit too late. Here we go then. Nice push through the final part of the lap. Ooh, rear tyres letting go there. Oh, it could have been very scary. Through the penultimate corner, nice and tidy. One more corner to go, and there we go. P11 today, I'll take that. That is a fantastic result. That's okay.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Well, unfortunately, the podium animation ended and I'm just sat here on a black screen. So I'm now going to have to use a mid-session save, and unfortunately there'll be no replay cams of the race, which is unfortunate, but these are the cards I've been dealt, it looks like. Okay guys, so I managed to reload the mid-session save, and this time the results did process, which is good. So here we are then at the end of the race. Unfortunately no replay cameras for this one, but it is what it is. The game screwed me over, but Bottas picks up the win ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc in fourth ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc picking up the fastest lap here today. Norris P6, great race from him ahead of both of the racing points. Stroll beating Perez, and Ricciardo and Kvyat score the final points. Kvyat, of course, scoring a point once again for Alfa Tauri, which is really, really big for the Constructors' Championship. We finished just outside the points in P11 ahead of Ocon, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Schumacher, Russell and Latifi, with Alexander Albon the only retirement from the race here today. Standings wise, we do remain in P9 and we hold on to our top 10, but Norris now only 2 points behind us. Constructors-wise, Mercedes have been crowned champions once again, and we finished in 7th place after this race. And AlphaTauri gained yet another point. They're only 1 point behind Alfa Romeo now, and we've still got about 20 points on both of those guys. So we're hanging in there, but we've got to try and keep it steady. Either way, guys, that is it for the US Grand Prix here today. We're now going to move into the laptop and see if we can put on some upgrades and some also, facility upgrades heading to the final races and also moving into Season 2. So let's jump into the laptop and let's see what we have available to us.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
I mean, it was all about, using the ERS at the right time, trying to hang in there, to be honest, and also using the power unit. We was very good on the straights. I could floor it whenever I needed to, and that's credit to the team for working on the engine.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've had, a race win this season, which is insane. We're in the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. I think we're all really, really happy. But you can't get complacent. You've got to stay on top of things.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, so great news in the rivalry breakdown as we outscore Pierre Gasly 4-2, which means we now have a 2-point advantage heading into the final 2 races of the challenge. To be fair, this could be resolved in the next episode, I think. Also, acclaim-wise, because of us finishing P11, we do level up to P10 now, and we are getting a 20% bonus, which is absolutely awesome. Mick is also on his way to level 9, and as a team, we are almost at level 13. Cash-wise, unfortunately, we didn't achieve the Sudu objective. Reason being is because I used the worn engine in practice and I wasn't able to achieve the fastest lap in FP1, so we didn't get that payout, but still, it's looking pretty good and we're nearly at $4 million, which is epic. So now let's jump into the laptop and let's use the money and the R&D points wisely. Okay, so we only have a 3-day turnover until the Mexican Grand Prix, so not very long. We are expecting an upgrade on the 27th, but let's look at the activities. We've only got 2 days, so looking at this, of course, we haven't got much to do. We've got sponsor event for promotion to improve the team acclaim, and I think I'm going to go for that one, to be honest. If we can improve the team acclaim, get closer to level 13, that's always going to help us out massively in terms of opportunities moving forward, so we'll assign that one there. And then also now R&D points, let's have a look. We've got 1,399, pretty much 1,400, so let's spend these. The engine, we know there's going to be a potential R&D change happening next season, so we're going to work on the chassis this time. And looking at the options here, we've got a major weight redistribution one for the engine cover. There is also one for tyre, which is quite tempting, to be fair. But we're going to balance things out on the tree a little bit, so we're going to go for this one here, and we've got enough points. That should arrive before the last race of the season, which is good. So hopefully we'll end the season with a pretty strong car. As you can see, we've got 3 major upgrades in the pipeline. They're all major, and that should hopefully close the gap to Scuderia AlphaTauri. But we've now got enough points as well for facilities to improve, so let's have a little look. We've got the engine, of course. We know there's an R&D update happening there, so we'll spend that money elsewhere. And looking at other areas, I think it's only fair that maybe the aerodynamics, we purchase the final one, which is the build time, and we can improve that by 20%. So we'll get that on the car. That will leave us with 1.82 million. And there we go. We're ready to go. So we're now going to simulate ahead to the Mexican Grand Prix. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the upgrade doesn't fail. And as I say that, unfortunately, the upgrade has failed. So we can't afford it right now. We're going to have to go through an event and go through the next race. So for now, we're going to have to just accept it and suck it up. There we go then, we're ready for the Mexican Grand Prix. We'll purchase the failed upgrade after this event, and that does mean that the front and rear major upgrades for the aerodynamics will arrive, hopefully for the race after that, fingers crossed. So it is where it is. Unfortunately, there's been too many failures this season. I think obviously we need to improve on the build quality, but I do feel like in this, there is one too many failures to the point where it stops you from upgrading and really catching up the other teams around you. Either way though, guys, that is going to be it from me here today for the US Grand Prix. If you guys enjoyed it, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. It massively helps out the channel. And if you do want to see more content like this, then get subscribed, guys. Click the little red button underneath the video to see more of these videos as we approach the end of Season 1 and approach the start of Season 2, guys. And there's going to be a big livery overhaul for the next season, so stay tuned for that one. But the next episode, guys, is going to be at Mexico. So hopefully you guys tune in. But also, guys, check out the 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see you all next time for the Mexican Grand Prix.